and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and this is Thyme and Tenderness. If you are new here, I am currently running a baking challenge for the month of November. Last week was bread week, the week before that was cookie week, and this week is family recipe week or traditional recipe week. Either way, if you have a recipe that has been passed down to you, something that you've been wanting to try, or if you wanted to make a new tradition for your family, this is the week for you to make that baked good. So this week I am making something called Groaning cake. Now, as most of you know, I also work every once in a while as a birth doula, and I heard of Groaning cake during my research and my education as to become a birth doula. And Groaning cake is a traditional cake or dish, like a dessert dish that is either prepared or made for a pregnant woman or made by a pregnant woman. I am not pregnant. I do have a doula client that I'm currently working with, and I'm going to be visiting her later this week. So I figured I'd go ahead and make this cake. I'm going to make it into little muffins so that it's easier to transport, and I'm going to be bringing it to her. So sit back and relax, and I'll be showing you how to make this really traditional old school cake. Now, as always, guys, we go ahead and get ready and take out everything that we need. Of course, I always forget a few items, as you'll see, but I have everything out, and we're starting with 2.5 cups of flour. Next up, we'll be doing 2 teaspoons of baking soda and baking powder. These are our leavening or rising agents, so we have 2 teaspoons of each of those. Now we are into our spices. I couldn't quite get the measurements quite correctly because of the opening of the container, but it was 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and then a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon, I think. I'll write the recipe down in the description below for ground cloves, and then I think it was a cup and 1/3 cup of sugar. Now I went ahead and whisked this all together, get it all really well incorporated, and then I just started to, right after this, I decided to clean up a little bit because, like I'm always saying, it's easier to clean as you go than to have a huge mess. So I tidied up just slightly, very slightly, and then now I am going ahead and juicing 2 oranges. I needed a half a cup of orange juice. So 2 oranges, I thought I was going to need 3, but 2 oranges yielded exactly half a cup of orange juice. Now guys, I'm curious to learn, are you participating in Bake-ful November? Have you done any baking challenges for yourself? Are you doing anything special this fall and winter season? Let me know in the comments down below. I really enjoy hearing from you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, as well as check the list of all the wonderful participants of Bake-ful November down below and give them some love by either going to their YouTube channel or following them on Instagram. Alright, here I go tidying up and cleaning again, because like I said, it's easier to clean little bits at a time than have a disaster in the kitchen at the end. Alright, so now is the time we're going to be incorporating all of our wet ingredients. So this recipe called for 3 eggs. I'm going to be adding the orange juice and a half a cup of oil. You'll see various other things. Like I said previously, all the ingredients and the instructions are going to be in the description box down below so that you can also make this wonderful recipe. Now this was my very first time baking with molasses. I've cooked and used molasses as a marinade before, but this was my first time using it in a baked good. So it is super sticky, so just watch out. Here's a little pro tip that I figured out. I've made baked things in the past that called for applesauce, and I would buy a big jar of applesauce, and then the applesauce would go bad because we don't eat applesauce too much in the house. So I decided to buy the little packs and just measure them out as I needed them, and it worked out like a charm. I needed a cup of applesauce. Each little container is only 4 ounces, so 2 containers, 8 ounces, perfect. And I forgot to add the almond extract. So here I am putting it at the very end and giving everything a really good mix before I once again tidy up. I don't think I show it on this clip, and I'm going to be putting the batter into muffin tins. Now you can use this recipe to make an actual cake, like it is Groaning cake. Cake is in the name, but just for the sake of transportation and just because I'm splitting the recipe between my household and my doula client's household, the muffin tins are just what's working out great for us. Now these muffins went in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 minutes. They rose and they baked beautifully, and you'll see them at the very end. Now Groaning cake, I don't think I've talked that much about Groaning cake yet, but really the mystery and the old wives' tale about Groaning cake is that when a pregnant woman eats it or smells it, it can make her labor faster, it can make it shorter, and then it's just overall really good. Some legends even say that if a pregnant woman bakes it herself, that she's going to have a shorter labor. There's just a whole bunch of wives' tales. I love those kinds of things, just a little harmless fun, and not to mention it tastes delicious. And then here now you see me cleaning again, because cleaning is important. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned next week for Pie Week, and here are the finished muffins. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check out all the participants of Bake-ful November, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.